normally I don't talk about this clue. In my interpretation in Indonesian, I did not discuss this formula at length at this point. I keep them guessing what is the clue. There is one verse. If you understand this, if you follow this, you can close this book. Verse 20. Some of them, thus reborn, may attain to the state of samadhi or enlightenment by the merit of pragyan, purvakaha, or past efforts, added with present efforts undertaken with shraddha or full faith, virya or courage, and smriti or attentiveness. Some of them who are reborn, since in the last birth you are already enlightened actually. You are already in the process of enlightenment. But there are certain conditions which have brought you back to life. And if you have this memory, Buddha says, if you have left your body with certain enlightenment, then in the next life you will have these flashes. You will have smriti. You'll have memories. You'll have memories, and these memories will help you not to repeat the same mistakes. You become more attentive, and yet attentiveness alone is not enough. You should have full faith in yourself that I can transcend all these conditions. I can be liberated. I can liberate myself from this body, from this mind. You have full faith, and the second one is you have courage. Why courage? Because there could be certain conditions that you are very much afraid of in your past life, and you have been running away from those conditions. You have been running away from those conditions. You are so scared to face them. And so in this life, you may have an option. Go through those conditions and get rid of your fear. Or you can postpone again. The existence has no problem. You can keep on postponing. The existence is happy anyway. So you can keep on postponing. Okay, I don't want to face this situation. You can postpone again. Or you can welcome the situation. Okay, in my previous birth, I have been running away from this situation. Now I am not going to run away. I am going to face this. This situation, when you have all these three, you have got shraddha, that is full faith, virya or courage, and smriti or attentiveness, remembrance and then attentiveness. If you have all these three, you can finish this. You can finish this season, and you can move on to the other season, to the second season. 21. Those who speed up, work hard for it, reach their goal of samadhi or equanimity or enlightenment faster. It is as simple as that. You have a vehicle, you have a car, you have to go to Denpasar. If you are running with a speed of 60, you may reach there in 1.5 hours. If you are going with a speed of 45, it will take you 2 hours. Of course, there are certain situations, certain conditions, the traffic, this and that is the society we are all living in. Although we are determined to cover this distance with the speed of 65, 70, whatever. Although you are determined, still there are certain outside factors, external factors. So then again, you have to be smart enough to look at the, GPS? to look at the GPS and not to take the road that is having traffic. Avoid the traffic. Or you start at the right time. My master would always remind, start early, drive carefully, and reach safely. So we have to start early. And starting early means what? Starting early means when you are starting this spiritual journey at the age of 20, 30, maximum 31, 35. 36 is a bit too late. That is starting early, when your energy is still full. And that is 50% of your lifespan. If the average age, what is the average age in the West? 70 plus? Here it is 60 plus. So for the Asians, for the Easterners, starting early means starting before you are 30. For the Westerners, you have a grace period of 6 years because your lifespan is now 72, say, the average lifespan. So you can start your journey at the age of 36. But if at that time you realize that you have a journey to undertake, many people, they forget it. 36 years of a lifetime is a long time. Even though you are born with a determination to continue your journey, you can forget all about this. So the earlier the better. 22. The difference, the time it takes to reach the goal depends upon one's speed, intensity. It may be slow, medium or fast. He is just emphasizing on the 21st. It can be slow, it can be medium, it can be fast. Very simple, very simple. You can go a bit slow, you can go medium, and the existence is all right with everything. The existence is not going to judge you. If you are slow, you go to hell. No, Patanjali is not saying that. If you are slow, it's your baby. It's your decision. You go slow. You go through samsara. You go through samsara. You go through all the pleasures, all the good things, all the bad things, until you get fed up and you want to start something new. And then you continue with your journey. Now this is number 23, is a very important verse. Or, meaning samadhi or enlightenment, can also be attained by means of Ishwar Pranidhan, total submission to the Lord who dwells within all beings and envelops all as well, one who is both transcendent and immanent. He is not just stating believe in God, no. These are codes, as I was discussing earlier, and if you have missed some, I think the first part is already on YouTube, is it? So these are formulas, these are coded things. So when he is using the word Ishvara, which is roughly translated, normally translated as God, it is not just God. What is Ishvara? Ishvara is one that is within you and also outside you. And outside in a way that an envelope is to a letter. The letter is inside the envelope. So we are all inside God. And God is also within us. If you, now here he says, all these things said and done, there is the shortest way. And the shortest way is by means of Ishwar Pranidhan, total submission to the Lord who dwells within all beings and envelopes all as well, one who is both transcendent and immanent. Submission to that God, not to the God who is in heaven. No. He is not speaking about God in heaven. He is speaking of God that is within you. Submission to the God within you, and the same God that is everywhere enveloping you. We have translated this, we have interpreted this as our motto: serve the Almighty by serving humanity and society. How do you submit to the Lord outside? By serving, by rendering service to humanity. First of all is humanity. It is to your own humanness. Because everybody is eating meat, it does not mean that you should eat meat. Because everybody is doing wrong things, it does not mean that you should be doing wrong things. Because everybody feels this way of living is good, it does not mean you have to adopt the same way. No. Ishwar Pranidhan is a conscious living, living consciously, realizing the truth within, the supreme within, and the supreme all around you. If you submit, totally submitted to that, then we can close this book. So he is already giving you a clue. Normally I don't talk about this clue. In my interpretation in Indonesian, I did not discuss this formula at length at this point. I keep them guessing what is the clue. There is one verse. If you understand this, if you follow this, you can close this book. You don't have to study it anymore. Most of the time, and Patanjali also realizes that total submission is difficult. It is not impossible. There are people, those who have total submission. But not everybody can do this. Hence, we continue the next verse, 24. Ishvara is Purusha or collective soul, consisting of innumerable individual souls, as sunlight comprises of uncountable sun rays, that is not affected by inflictions, activities, be they physical, mental, or emotional, the consequence of any activity, and the impressions of activities done in the past. What is this Ishvara? He is trying to make us understand. The light in this room is affected by a lot of things. There are shadows here. These shadows are created because of our body. If our body is not there in this room, there will be no shadows. So the soul, the sun rays which are in our body, they have different qualities. They have different shadows. They have different conditionings. But the sunlight outside, that's what he calls collective soul. This is individual soul. That is collective soul. The sunlight that is outside is not affected by all the furniture, all the artifacts that we have got in this room. It is not affected. It is freer. What we call God now is that condition, Purusha. Patanjali is stating, is trying to tell us that even that sunlight that is not affected does not have any identity of its own. The real identity is the sun. Without the sun, there is no sun rays, there is no sunlight. Individual soul, all of us. Collectivity, all around us. And the Supreme One. This is analogy. He is not up there. The Supreme One. There are three different terms. We have been discussing this also. There are three different terms. Sun rays, sunlight and the sun, and yet you cannot separate them. You cannot separate sun rays from sunlight. You cannot separate sunlight from the sun. This is the kind of realization that Patanjali is trying to take us to. 25. There in the Lord, the Supreme Being or Paramatma, that's the sun, the analogy of the sun. There in the Lord, the Supreme Being or Paramatma, the singular cause of Purusha that causes the sunlight, the sun, Paramatma, the Supreme Self. Paramatma is not God even. It cannot be translated as God. Param is supreme, Atma is self. So the Supreme Self, He is the singular cause of the collective soul, collectivity. All the universes, multiverses, existences, all plural things. The singular one is causing all. And from that, then we are all divided again into sun rays. Once again, there in the Lord, the Supreme Being or Paramatma, the singular cause of Purusha, energy or soul, and Prakriti, matter or material existence, lay the seed of omniscience that is unsurpassed. If you get to that realization, he is hinting, if you can get to that realization, you become omniscient. You can know everything. There is nothing to be known anymore. You know everything once you identify with the Supreme One, with the Supreme Self. 26. Being infinite or unlimited by time, that the Lord Paramatma, the Supreme One, the cause of energy and matter, or Purusha and Prakriti, is the true Guru, the true master of everyone from the most ancient ones. And this is where the tradition of revering Guru as the manifestation of the Supreme. Why so? Why so? Because a Guru is a Swami. A Swami means the master of his own self. He is not directed by the senses. He is not directed by the mind, he or she. He is the Lord, she is the Lord of his senses, her senses. Such a person who has realized the Supreme, who has realized that self, is considered a Guru. And once you are close to this Guru, you cannot but get burnt. It is just, my master would remind us, it is just like being close to live ember. You get burnt. You get burnt. You cannot not get enlightened. So either you rub two stones and create fire on your own, can be done. We can go back to the ancient times, rub the stones, create the fire, or you get a box of matchstick, you get a lighter, the fire is there. Now you don't have to invent the fire again. So the reason why we have a Guru, a spiritual master, not a teacher, but a spiritual master, and master over himself. He is not enslaving us. He is not our master. He is called master because he has a mastery over himself, over herself. He is like a lighter, like a matchbox. The fire is there within him. So we get close to him, we get enlightened. Once again, 26. Being infinite or unlimited by time, that the Lord Paramatma, the Supreme One, the cause of energy and matter, or Purusha and Prakriti. The existence, matter that we see, Purusha, the energy that we see. He is talking what was discovered by Albert Einstein thousands of years later. That energy and matter, they are related. They are related. Solid energy is matter, and if not solid, it is energy. So he is stating the same thing. All this is both matter and energy. There is yet another reality that has created this. Once you realize that, you are graduated from this season.